Former President Donald Trump returned to the campaign trail this weekend after surviving that assassination attempt. Trump and his new running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, took the stage in Michigan. Vance could help win over voters in places like Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Ohio. Long lines of crowds wrapped around the arena in Grand Rapids. This was an indoor rally, by the way. The former president talked about inflation, the border, and more.
The Republican Party is now the party of the people. We're the party of hardworking Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. The other side's going around trying to make me sound extreme, like I'm an extremist. I'm not.
The former president hopes to turn the battleground state of Michigan red. Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, House members grilled the head of the Secret Service today after a bullet nearly took the life of former President Trump on the agency's watch. Fox News correspondent Caroline Shively has more from Washington.
We must learn what happened, and I will move heaven and earth to ensure that an incident like July 13th does not happen again.
Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheatle defending her agency's response to the assassination attempt that nearly took the life of former President Donald Trump, testifying before members of the House Oversight Committee and a chairman demanding her resignation.
Under Director Cheatle's leadership, we question whether anyone is safe. Not President Biden, not the First Lady, not the White House, and certainly not the presidential candidates.
Democrats and Republicans pressing for answers on how the Secret Service failed to secure the building where 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks fired from a rooftop less than 150 yards away from the Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania.
There were minutes of delay before any meaningful action was taken, even though he was several hundred feet from the podium. And this was obviously minutes before the shooting.
The Secret Service was reportedly alerted to the threat about 10 minutes before Trump went on stage, and yet Crooks was still able to shoot, killing one man and wounding Trump and two others.
I am here today because I want to answer questions, but I also want to be cautious.
You might want to, but you haven't answered, I don't think you've answered one question from the chairman, the ranking member, or me.
As oversight members question Cheatle, a dozen bipartisan lawmakers from another House committee are visiting the rally site in Pennsylvania, looking for answers on how the agency could have failed in its no-fail mission. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.